That's your wrong arm. You know that.
Just swinging a dead cat.
This thing on, why they get this thing on for?
What is that? Oh, yeah, that's right. You know what, I saw the perimeter. It's only, I don't know how much work they're doing there.
Tell him we're ready. Pat,
He's all set.
he's all set?
Yep.
Is he all set? Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Lawrence Licensing Board meeting is now in order. Members present today from left to right are Commissioner Jorge Hernandez, Commissioner Ron Martin, myself, Chairman Pedro Torres. To my right, Lieutenant Sean Conway from the Lawrence Police Department, and Lieutenant Paul Macaron from the Lawrence Fire Department.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the January 31st meeting.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded to accept the January 31st meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the next board meeting will be February 14th. February 28th at 6 p.m. here at Chambers. First item on the agenda is a one-day alcohol trivia night fundraiser for Central Catholic. Is anybody here from Central Catholic?
The last week's.
Oh, I got the wrong one, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, I apologize.
I went to Central, but I'm not here.
The next item on the agenda is old business application for W&M Package Store.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Robert Kelly. I'm an attorney in Lawrence with offices at 130 Parker Street. I, first of all, want to thank you for allowing this to be brought up under old business. You've seen this under old business a couple of times. We started out on the agenda of January 13th, and I'm told by the land use planner, Attorney McCarthy, that he is prepared to send a letter, but as recently as 4 o'clock this afternoon, he said that letter, which conforms that the premises at 271 Common Street, Lawrence Street, is appropriately zoned for beer and wine sales. That letter, he can't send that letter until the chairman of this board requests it in writing. And he's told that by his director. I asked for the assistance from your clerk to send a letter requesting that opinion. If we had known that the chairman himself, in all due respect, had to request that opinion, it would have been done a minimum of 2 weeks ago. However, his director, a woman named Teresa, said you can't send that unless the chairman of the board requests it. So I'm asking this board, in all due respect, to request the opinion regarding the premises at 271 Common Street. But I couldn't be here without going one step beyond and saying, if that opinion comes in, could we approve the license tonight, subject to receiving that favorable opinion? If that favorable opinion isn't received, then your approval would be rescinded. But I'm asking for your consideration about approving the beer and wine sales for these premises at 271 Lawrence Street, where my client, Freddie Castillo, worked for 8 years as an employee in that previous facility known as Costanza Market. But I am aware of the chairman's reluctance to do that in past, but I'd be remiss in my obligation to my client if I didn't ask that tonight.
Okay, just like before, I'm still under the same, I wanted to go to zoning. And I've told you that a couple times.
But now, what they're telling me is
But they're telling you, and what the information coming to me is different. So I'm not willing to ask for a letter because I have no interest in the letter. I have an interest of the process being done properly, like I told you last time. And I asked you to go to zoning so they can approve it, and if they approve it, then you don't have a problem. And I don't see why you're trying to get around that still.
Well, I'm not trying to get around anything.
Well, that's what it
I'm
seems
trying
to
to
me
ask
like.
you to do what you asked me to do. You asked me to get a clarification
Well,
from
I asked you
zoning.
to go to zoning.
No, I don't have to ask for a zoning board relief. I need you to ask for a clarification regarding 271 Lawrence
I
Street.
got a clarification, and from my understanding, you have to go to zoning. So,
Could
I'm not gonna change my mind, so there's no use going back and forth. I want you to go to zoning. And I'm gonna ask
Mr.
the
Chairman.
members of the board if
Mr.
they can
Chairman,
please,
What is wrong with just asking for an opinion from the land use planner whether zoning board relief is necessary or not? Is that too much to ask?
I asked already.
When did you ask? You have to ask in writing. Once you do that, done
No,
deal.
I don't have to ask in writing.
That's what the land use planner,
No, I have to ask in writing so they can give me an excuse for you to get what you want.
no.
But I want it to be done properly. So I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you all night. We've already been through this 2 meetings now. I'm gonna ask that this be removed, a consideration to have this removed till it goes to zoning. And then it can be brought back in front of this board.
Can't you just ask for a zoning opinion? What is
No.
so wrong with that?
Because I have issues with the way that place is
You've
situated.
what?
I have issues with the way that place is.
I don't
There's
care
no
what
parking.
your issues. Your issues mean nothing to me.
Well, then
The
yours don't
zoning-
mean anything to me either.
The zoning rules are the zoning rules.
Well, this is why we want
A
clarification.
clarification
Well,
from the zoning.
can't you ask for an opinion from the land use planner or the zoning commissioner whether
no.
zoning relief is
I mean,
necessary?
I don't see the problem. If you go to zoning and they say it's fine with parking, everything, there's no problem. I don't know what the problem is with
But
that.
if the zoning commissioner says you don't have to go to zoning, you are in fact licensed to use those premises for beer and wine sales. Can't you ask that as the members of the licensing commission?
I've explained to you that this license, I looked up and it never went to zoning originally.
This has
Okay?
been licensed for 10 or
There's
15...
there's another business up the street that had the same issue, and their license was taken away because it never went to zoning. Because it is not zoned for,
You're not the
Beer and
zoning
wine.
commissioner. Just ask for an opinion from the zoning board.
you need to go to zoning. That's, you guys,
No,
let's vote
how
on
can you
this.
tell me I gotta go to zoning?
That's the regulation. You gotta go to zoning.
Can't we get an opinion from the zoning commissioner that no zoning relief is necessary?
I don't want an opinion. I want zoning to look at it and make a decision on it.
You're being totally unfair, Mr. Chairman.
Fortunately,
And I
that's,
hope the other members of the board would overrule you and ask simply, can we get an opinion from the zoning commissioner whether in this case, for the premises at 271 Lawrence Street, whether zoning relief is necessary or not? If zoning relief is necessary, we'll go there.
unfortunately, I want you to go to zoning.
Well, I don't care what you want. I
Then
hope the
do
other
what you
two,
want.
I hope the other two members
All right.
can see the,
Let me make a motion.
I mean, I can't see any problem. If you go to zoning, there's no problem, everything's in order, fine, you'll get your license.
it could take 3 months.
If
You
had
could have
gone-
gone on the 28th if you would have won last time, I told you.
I mean, if they find no issues, and we have no issues, if there was a question maybe of parking or whatever, if they find that it complies with everything, then you
But
have
if
no
the
problem.
zoning commissioner says you don't have to do that,
Well,
that
it's,
should be
It
sufficient.
never went in front of zoning in the last, it's never been in front of zoning.
It doesn't have to be in front of
Of
zoning if
course
the
it
zoning
does, because
commissioner
it's
says it
not,
doesn't have to
it's
be.
not zoned for beer and wine.
You're not the zoning, you're the licensing.
I looked up the information and
I
it's
don't
not
care what you
zoned.
looked up. Let's
So-
give us a break here.
Let's go.
You're the licensing commissioner, you're not the zoning commissioner.
That's right, that's why I want you to go to zoning.
Wow.
Go ahead, make a motion. My opinion is, I'm willing to consider a motion to dismiss this, take this off the agenda till after it goes from zoning.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and it's been seconded to remove this item from the agenda till it goes through zoning. All in favor?
Aye.
And we're gonna do a roll call. Commissioner Jorge Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Ronald Martin,
Aye.
myself, Chairman Torres, aye. The ayes have it.
May we expect a written opinion,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Thank you.
May we
Next item
expect
on
a
the-
written opinion
No.
from which we can take an appeal?
Next item on the agenda is a new business for common victuals license for a 7-day entertainment license for Mark Trempe.
If I might interrupt for a minute, the
Excuse
next
me,
item,
sir.
the second next item on the agenda is Santo Domingo Liquors. I'd request a continuance till February 28th.
It's not on my agenda
Turn
here.
the page.
Yeah, it is.
I'm still on the first page.
Well, the next, I'm saying to move things along, I'd like it continued to February
Oh,
28th.
you're gonna have to wait your turn, please.
Wow,
Next item is-
that's really cooperation.
Common
Mr. Chairman. I
victuals
appreciate it.
license, excuses.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Robert Menasian. I'm an attorney. I have an office at 127 South Broadway in Lawrence, and I represent Max Trey, who is making an application for a common victualer's license. I was before you at the last meeting for the premises at 2022 Union Street. We had asked for an all-alcohol beverage license, and that was approved by this board, and it's gone up to Boston. I'm asking for a common victualer's license, and the rationale for that is my client technically has been out of business. The former owner did not renew the license at the premises. If we have a common victualer's license, we can at least open and serve food, and this way the community will not forget that we're there, because I think if we're out of business for several months, 3 or 4 months, it makes a huge financial impact. People find new places to go to. And your first question may be, well, you can't have alcohol. He knows that. He hasn't got a license for alcohol. But at least he can serve food and perhaps salvage some of the business that he had previously.
Does anybody have any opinion on this?
Basically, you just want to serve food until the,
Correct. That's it.
Is that okay with you, Lieutenant?
Yeah, the only question I have, Attorney Menasian, is there's no alcohol on premise at all, right? Everything's been removed?
Everything's been removed. What was salvageable was sent back to the distributors.
Distributor, yeah, okay, great. Thank you very much.
okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the common victual license for La Cava at 20 Union Street.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and it's been seconded to accept the common victuals license for La Cava. All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it.
I also made up a 7-day entertainment license so they can
Okay.
watch TV.
Yep,
Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the common victuals license for 676 Essex Street, El Pez Dorado. So we could make a motion to table it to another meeting. Yeah. Table it to another
Okay,
meeting.
I'll make a motion that we table this till the next meeting.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor that's been seconded to table this item to the end of the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Okay, next item on the agenda is new manager of Santo Domingo Liquors, and this item has been asked for Attorney Kelly to be postponed. Do you want 228 or 314?
228, please.
Okay, to 228?
Okay, I'll make a
And a
motion.
happy Valentine's Day to one and all.
You too.
You
I'll
too.
make a motion, we transfer this item till February 28th.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor that's been seconded to continue this matter to the February 28th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is so this got postponed to March 14th. The Gould?
Yes, it was Melinda's, and they're transferring the name, and they're continuing to come in for status on the repairs and the alterations.
So they're gonna come back on the 14th, so we don't need to hear it.
Yeah, they're gonna come in and
Okay, the next item on the agenda is Ash General DBA Don Pedro's, request to alter premises. Is anybody here from Don Pedro's? No?
Postpone.
also told that he did leave his plans for you.
Okay, so I make a motion to continue to the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we continue this item till the next meeting.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and it's been seconded to continue to the next meeting of February 28th. All in favor?
Aye.
The next item on the agenda It's continued from the first page, El Pez Dorado. Nobody here, but just continue it to the 28th.
Make a motion, we continue this item till the next meeting.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, it's been seconded to continue this item to the February 28th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Is that somebody here?
Well, no, he's the security guard guy.
All right, do you wanna,
So now we have a discussion about non-refundable fees, review and accept. So I guess we have a letter from the city attorney explaining to us about the fees when people come down and give the fees for any permit at the city of Lawrence, whether it be liquor or any used car license and everything. There should be something in our package. I can find it, I'll read it out loud. Does he have it in?
Last page.
Okay. So this letter I'm going to read to you is from the city attorney. The fee charged for a license application is the fee for processing the application itself and is directly related to the complexity of the work and time involved in reviewing and processing the application. The application fee is non-refundable. Acceptance of the fee in no matter indicates that the application will be favorably disposed. The application fee is in addition to any licensing fee imposed for the actual issuance of a license. So this comes to the matter of the gentleman that was here at our last meeting discussing the fact that he had paid for a victualer's license and also a all beer and wine license, and he never met all the approvals, and he was saying that we didn't give him his permits. He wanted his money back. So we had the attorney explain, to explain to us what the situation was with that. And so we have to review this and accept it so that we take a vote to accept this so that in further times, if anybody comes in
okay,
asking for the same thing.
I'll make a motion that we accept the communication from the city attorney, and in the future, we'll use this as a guidance to
Just a point of clarification,
Yes.
so this is regards to the application fees only?
That's correct.
Okay. Second.
So there's a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded to accept the interpretation from the city of Lawrence attorney in regards to the non-refund of all city licensing fees. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. We'll do a roll call. Attorney Jorge Hernandez,
Aye.
Attorney Ronald Martin,
Aye.
myself, Chairman Torres, aye. All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
Sign the minutes for me?